Hello, beautiful beings.
My name is Luna, and this is
Rachel, and we'd like to welcome you to the Conscious Soul Podcast.
The Conscious Soul,
where you can get your dose of laughs, wisdom, healing,
aliens, witchy shit, and all things related to the unfolding of the conscious soul. Hello, everyone. I'm Luna, and I'm here with
Rachel. What's going on, guys?
What's up? Welcome to the Conscious Soul.
Hey.
How you doing? What's up?
We're so happy that you're here.
Yes,
we love you.
We love you. So right now we're actually on the road. We are going to be camping and just traveling up the coast for the next week. And being in nature, connecting with Mother Earth, and seeing what Spirit has for us also. Right?
Yeah, it's gonna be, I'm excited. And we literally just got on the road and just already started a great conversation, and I said, hey, this should be a topic. And then here we are.
So yeah, now we're recording it. And so we were talking about neutrality. Neutrality is a topic that is talked about often, and it's basically talking about a little bit about how the brain works, is what I was explaining to Rachel here. So nothing has meaning. So the way that we interact with people, like, somebody tells you something and you perceive it and take it personal in a totally different way that the person probably is not even thinking about you, and they got their own shit going on, but you personalize it, right? And so if you don't personalize it, if you realize that nothing actually has meaning until you give it meaning, and this is not something that is woo-woo, like this is literally science. So the 2-slot experiment was where they shot single molecules. I forgot what specifically, but they shot them in really quickly through these 2 slots. And so when there was no camera there, these cells or the molecules, they would alternate. They would either go through one side or the other side. It was off. And so when there was a camera there, the molecules were only going to one side. And so they thought, so that means that we give it meaning, right? So we're choosing that it's going to go on the right side, and so it's going to the right side. And so nothing has meaning until you give it a meaning, because your brain, the way your brain operates, it's basically choosing whether something is right or wrong, whether something is safe or unsafe, if it's dangerous. And this was used by us back in the day, back in the heyday. This was used by us, to see if there was, by cave women, right? Cavemen, cave women. We're gender neutral here. It was used by them to either respond to some type of threat, like a lion or a bear or some type of shit, and respond to that. So the body, when it realizes, okay, this is something of danger, it goes into fight or flight mode, and that pumps a bunch of adrenaline and cortisol. And so that's the stress hormone, and you are literally shutting down your organs. Your organs start to slow down and shut down because you have to preserve energy to fight off whatever threat you are perceiving. And so that's why the brain works that way. But let's say you're thinking about a trauma, right? You're thinking about a trauma, you're having that stress response in your body. Your heart starts palpitating, or you get some type of very heavy emotion that comes over you. And so that response happens in the body just like if it were happening that same day. Your body doesn't know the difference. And so literally that's another topic. That's a whole other
but
topic
that's
in itself.
Yeah, it is. But that's the fascinating part, that the brain and the body, everything is in coherence. And the whole reason that we started talking about this was because we were speaking about, emotion, and how we give something, we give emotion meaning, or we give something, positive or negative, good, bad, happy, sad. We label these things. And one of the great example that you gave is that a plant is just a plant. Everything is what it is. When you plant an avocado seed, an avocado tree is going to grow. You're not going to have an apple tree from an avocado seed. Yeah. And so you said how does the weed or the plant grow through the concrete? Because nature is what it is. It does what it does. And that's the fascinating part, what you were just saying about the brain, that, when the body is sent this cortisol, running through the body, is that it doesn't know the difference between, this is not happening. This is something that happened 10 years ago. But my blood pressure's up, my heart's, palpitating, I'm sweating, and I'm ready to go. I'm fight or flight. I'm ready to get the heck out of here, So, and
that affects the health, your
right,
health.
Right. And that was another reason we started this conversation, was, how it manifests in the body. When you constantly worry or try to change the outcome of something, you're not allowing, creation and Mother Nature and the evolution to allow it to be what it is. When we're constantly trying to manipulate things to be what we want them to be, or how we want them to be, or in a quote-unquote timely manner, the way we want them to be, things really do go awry. It might not happen, things might not backfire right away. However, somewhere down the line, it will. Because we were not allowing nature to do what nature does, which exists in its own beauty and creation, just as we ought to. And this is what we're learning. And I'm so thankful to be alive in this in this period of time. Obviously I've been here before, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, you've definitely been here before. Oh man, yeah. It's definitely, you hold these emotions in, or you keep repeating these old stories in your head, and that's creating all the stress, these hormones that are coming into your body.
Like stress responses, like responses
to
stress.
Yeah, it's a chemical release that happens in your body.
Yeah.
And so that is creating blockages in your body, and it can manifest in your body as many things, tumors, all kinds of things, and what's interesting is that a lot of the time it happens at like the colon area or at the base of the spine, because that is the root chakra, and that's where fear comes in. That's where you feel fear. And so when people are in fear they're in constant fear a lot of the time,
Yeah.
And so that's creating that response there. And so that's where it'll manifest. And it'll manifest in different chakras as well, different parts of the body, the different parts that have to do with the meridian system and everything. You can look everything up. But yeah, it's really interesting, and I feel like if we would just be ourselves, be happy, because our happiness and peace and joy, that's our natural state, that's our homeostasis, right? That's our natural state of being.
Yes.
And all these other things start to affect that, and these labels, these things start to cover us, and then we don't know who we are. We can't see our own selves. And so I forgot what was.
You're right on, and that's I think that was something that we actually covered in the last episode. Like, that's where the disconnect comes into play, when we forget that joy and peace and love and happiness and abundance. When we forget that these things are truly our natural state, then we do get further and further away from the self, the higher self, the spirit, the spirit body, so to speak. And go ahead.
And And if you just like we started this conversation because we were saying to just let people be.
Yes.
Let people be people. People are gonna make mistakes. People are gonna say shit that you may not like. People may like you. People may not like you, and it's cool. Just people are just gonna be. People are people, and trees are trees, and but we're all connected.
Yes.
We're all connected, unified in that source. In that unconditional love. And so if you love yourself and you love your brother and sisters, in the planet, then you just let them be. If they don't agree with you, cool. It's not going to stress you out. Just let them be.
Yeah.
That's up to them. That's their prerogative,
That's my prerogative.
And it's not. That's my prerogative. And it's not up to you to change anybody's mind. That's not our job here. We're not here to judge each other. No judgment. Just if you can observe somebody, and just let them be without any judgment, and everybody can just be themselves, and you be yourself fully as well, then everything would work harmoniously, just like nature does. Nature grows wild, but it works in perfect unison. Everything works together. The trees even communicate with each other in the forest, like through the root system. It's fucking crazy. But yeah, it's perfect. It's perfect harmony if we just let it be. And so that was the lesson that we wanted to get out of this, right?
Yes, absolutely. I love the part about harmony and just allowing things to be in their highest and best natural state. And just adding to that, I heard something earlier today that said just because someone learned something, I'm just using this as an example, just because someone learned something before you, or someone has more knowledge of something and maybe you feel as though they're more advanced in something, that just means that their soul went ahead of you, and you could be ahead of them in something else. And I'm just using this as an example. I'm not using it as a comparative factor, because to be honest with you, there is no comparison, because there's no one like you. There's no one like me. There's no one like you. There's no one like Luna. There's no one like any other being. Even twins, identical twins, they still have a different, as I'm stuttering, it's the remix, y'all. Everybody has a different makeup, and everyone's soul has a different purpose and unfolding. And so the harmony part is beautiful, because simply allowing ourselves to be, we all, as Luna said, we all make mistakes. We're all learning. We're all here in Earth School together, and allowing people to just be people. And something that I want to say about allowing people to be people, I have caught myself saying, I love people, but I don't always like them. And I've caught myself saying, I love kids and I love animals better than people, and that's something that within myself, that just calling myself out in this moment, that I'm gonna change, because I love people, and I love being around people, and I love engaging and having conversation. And again, there's nothing wrong with having solitude. It's necessary. Everything in moderation. However, it's really important to not, because if I'm saying I don't like people, well, what kind of people do you think I'm going to meet? I'm going to meet people who I don't like. I'm going to meet people who rub me the wrong way. Exactly. And that's my own, unfolding and lesson, because who am I to say, who I like, or what does it matter? It doesn't matter if I like you or I don't like you, or if I like how your hair looks or what you have on. It just really doesn't matter. At the end of the day, our opinions, they really don't fucking matter. It really is an opinion. This guy I know, he posted the other day, and he was just like, opinions are like assholes. Everybody has them. And I'm like, he's like, some are dark, some are light, some are big, some are small. And it's true. Everybody has big opinions, and so let's just focus on allowing each other to just be ourselves. And if someone says something that you don't like, it's okay. If that person is close to you, and they're in your inner circle, and they're a part of your life, then yeah, communicate that with them and say, hey, I didn't like when you said this. This is how it came across. Communication is very important. I'm not saying that. I'm just,
yeah.
You guys get the point.
Yeah,
hopefully.
Yeah. Yeah, we get the point. Thank you for that asshole comparison. I really enjoyed that. I thoroughly enjoyed that.
Apparently,
I like. Okay, but yeah, this has been a great topic.
Yeah,
I think.
Thank you for bringing that up. That was really good.
Yeah. Thank you for listening.
Neutrality. Everything is neutral, guys.
Everything is neutral. Nothing has a meaning until you give it a meaning.
Yes.
You know, the meaning, the actual, what actually happened and what meaning you give something is two completely different things. They're separate. Yeah, so just keep your filter clean and try to, and work on it every day. You know what I mean? The filter?
Yeah.
Because honey, okay? Because honey, we be doing our own damage to our own selves, our mind.
Our own suffering.
We create our own suffering. The mind will just think all day because it's a machine. It's a fucking machine, and it's literally here to help you survive. But you have to work with it. Harmonize with nature.
Yes.
Harmonize, and if you harmonize with nature, that means you harmonize with every inhabitant of planet Earth. And so, harmonize with each other. I love you guys. Stay up.
Love you.
Stay blessed.